All right, so the man Barimah Sidney is still hot. You know, we are getting close to the election year, and you know that Sidney has songs that, you know, propel a certain party, depending on how he feels. People think that he's an MPP, but I think he said that himself. But let's see what happens in 2020 as we get to have a conversation on the election 2020, his new song, One Day, which is still popping. People are talking about it. And that One Day sounds gospel. So I'm going to find out whether he's now become a gospel musician in this dispensation of prophecies. Maybe he's now going to give us prophecies through music. Hello, Barimah.
Hello.
So how are you doing?
I'm good.
2019, you've come up with a new vibe altogether, One Day. What's happening one day?
One day is a summary of everything that happened to me in 2018. Like I said, 2018 wasn't too good a year for me. There's so many things, you know, I thought I could do, I couldn't. See, I mean, and I ended up, it wasn't too good. Family issues, industry issues, and all that. But then 2019, I believe, is my year of harvest.
You believe it's your year of harvest. What have you sown into the year that
everything I sowed in 2018, I believe I'll reap them in
2019. Okay, let's start on the note that it wasn't a good year. Yes, 2018, you made a lot of, you know, news, from marriage issues to industry. I'm not too sure, but the most that pops up on the internet is, I cheated on my wife, I did this to my wife, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like, what really brought about all those conversations
You see,
in 2018?
I was in Liberia, you know. Actually, I was invited by the president of Liberia, His Excellency JoyNews, who's a friend and a godfather, to celebrate their 100 and something independence anniversary with them. I did an anniversary song for them. It was the biggest song in Liberia at that time. Wow. So I was there, and Zion Felix called me for an interview, and, you know, we're talking about it then. Before I was going, I had released 3 singles. I called 3 songs. I mean, the Guara Guara, Impunachi, and all that. So he was asking me if I say, like, you know, Impunachi, have I ever cheated on my wife before? And I said, listen, man, I said, Obika se odone yerenkwa na onfa nechida or your truthful. That's Matthew chapter 5, verse 25 or something. You know, it says, if you look at a woman lustfully, you have already committed adultery in your heart. So he asked whether I've done that before. I said, oh, and my yes, you know, my yes, because of course, there are a couple of times I've seen beautiful girls again, and all of a sudden it was all over that I've cheated on my wife, sir. You know how you guys can turn issues. And, you know, so that was it.
And did it affect, you know, your home?
Of course it did. And they were, yeah, it did. I mean, some family, long family people calling and all that. But then, so you've
been able to resolve that?
Of course, yeah.
Now, let's talk about the industry as well. People talked about the fact that, you know, you always release when there is, it's close to a political season. We are in 2019. We know the last 4 years, or was it 3 years ago, or 2 years ago, I'm not too sure, you did a song that was for the MPP. And we know we are getting close to election again. Are you still going to do one for them, or you're going to look at the opposition party?
You see, last I didn't do any song for MPP.
No,
actually, no, it was about Mutashi. Mutashi, we are a non-partisan youth activist group. I mean, it wasn't, but then of course, before that I said, you know, I believe in the free SHS stuff and all that. Yes, that one I said that. 2019, I want people to see Barimah Sidney as Barimah Sidney. Me, I say it as it is. So, yeah, I mean, if they're doing well, we'll say it. If they're not, we'll say it. So they should watch out. Me, I've been watching, listening, you know, everything they're doing. The government, I'm watching, very quiet, watching all they're doing, all that. Very soon, I'll be dropping my...
You'll be dropping. But before you drop, what's your assessment? Because people look at you with a political eye. I'm sure a lot of people... And I think that I'm trying to remember vividly well whether you even said that you belong to the MPP, or you support the MPP, or you sympathize with them. So people have the political eye on, or their lenses on when they're looking at you. They think that you're an MPP person. So what's your assessment so far of the Akufo-Addo government?
You know, it's all going to be in the new song coming up. You know, if I say, I mean...
Just give me a gist. Just give me a gist.
Gee, man, there's no just. I mean, they should watch out for the song. So it's gonna be like a comic, putting everything together. Whatever I've seen from 7th January to now, putting all together in one song, even including the men's gold issue, everything coming up.
Wow!
Know.
But are you impressed?
We are impressed. I mean, so far so good.
Really? Then your song should be impressive then.
Don't get it twisted, because Sidney can always, you know, can pull surprises anytime. So I mean, but like I said, watch out, something is coming. I mean, because they keep asking me, when are you coming out? Even though I'm out now, they're still asking me, when are you coming out? Meaning they're expecting something, and definitely they'll hear something.
Now, this hip life Afro pop, Afro beats thing, you know, has kind of wiped away, you know, the hip life era, and everybody's doing Afropop. If they're not doing Afropop, they're doing Afrobeat. If they're not doing Afrobeat, they're doing hip hop or high life. What's happening with hip life?
Hip life. And we'll be Reggie Rockstone. I don't even want to say anything again, man. But then on the serious note, I'll say, you know, now we're all doing world music. I mean, there's nothing, you know, when we started, we're doing hip hop. You know, that's what we're doing. But now, Charlie, when you go to other countries.
You're doing hip life or hip hop?
No, when we started, you see, it was hip hop before then hip life. Hip hop, as what we're doing was hip hop. But then when you go to Nigeria, they're calling it hip hop. But then we were calling it hip life. Yeah, I mean, so let's say we're doing hip hop. But then we moved to the hip life, which is supposed to be a combination of the hip hop and a little bit of high life blend. Yeah, I mean, but now we're doing Afro pop, we're doing Afro whatever, world music. I mean, I call it world music. I mean, every dance music, we're all doing world music.
You don't think that we're losing our identity through that? Because if we claim that hip life was ours, it was the only thing in the high life we could boast of. And if we're moving away from all that, don't you think we're losing our identity? Even the high life is being credited to Nigerians.
Oh yeah, that's very true. But then, like, that's why I keep giving credit to my guys, the Kwame Eugenes and all that. You know, they're bringing back the high life in another version. Yeah, I mean, and it's all good. And it's true. I mean, I wish, you know, by now we would have moved from those days, 1996 kind of hip life, would have moved it to another level where, you know, we could really define it. Because it got to a point in time, we couldn't really define the hip life. Yeah, I mean, so we failed, you know, one way or the other. You know, when we're talking about hip life, you know, we all diverted to do some other things and all that. And I wish if we had stayed, you know, on our course, like the hip life, let's combine the hip hop with the high life, let's blend it well. But then we failed along the line.
So which one can we own now? Now we don't know which one to claim as ours. Which one do you think, as a musician, is ours and we should begin to promote and keep to ourselves?
I think high life is all we have. I mean, I still believe in high life.
But they say it's for the Nigerians.
Who said
what? CNN, even CNN reported that it's
that's very bad. I mean, that's the high life is Ghana. I mean, and I think that's all we have. I mean, we need to go back to the high life. Let's blend it with our hip hop thing. I mean, I believe we still have the high life. Yeah.
Well, maybe one more question before you go. Now you're saying that, okay, the government has done impressively for you and you're in the art sector. I'm sure that there are things that you're expecting that by now should be done by the ministry and all that. Do you think that Catherine Afeku has, you know, done as much as you wanted when you were propagating, you know, and letting people know that, Charlie, something is good with this party?
Well, I think she's doing well. But the only thing I'll say is it's not her fault. But then I think combining tourism and creative art as something that the president needs to look at. Because, you know, tourism is taking everything from the creative art. Tourism is big. And, you know, they're pumping a lot of money into tourism, neglecting the creative art. So we'll play with the president to separate the two. Put the tourism somewhere, then let's have the creative art too. So that, you know, they can really look at us.
You think we can manage it?
Yeah. For now, tourism is taking everything. Tourism is overshadowing creative arts and all that. So let's find a way and
we had a Freemas. They are pumping money into the creative arts sector and all that. You think it's not enough?
No, I don't think it's enough. They should separate the two ministries. I mean, there should be tourism. You know, tourism is broad. It's big. You know, it has its own problem and all that. Let tourism be tourism. Let creative art be creative art.
Well, another reason people might not agree is that they say we cannot take care of ourselves. We cannot handle our own affairs as creative art people. Who is going to govern us? There's too much pull him down here. People are craving to have things to themselves and all that. Do you think that if the Jew creates a ministry for arts and culture or arts, we will be able to handle our affairs?
Oh, definitely. We will.
Which will be in the leadership?
I don't know, but it's the president. I mean, he needs to just separate the two. Get somebody else to, you know, be there.
Who do you think will be able to
I don't have anybody in mind.
So that means we are not ready to have a ministry.
It's not about me. Okay, probably I might not.
You are a decision maker.
Yeah, I am, though. But then, as I stand there, I don't really have anybody in mind. All I'm saying is, let's separate the two. Then after that, you know, we can move on.
One day.
Yes.
It's a sum up of all the things that happened to you in 2018, but it also comes across as gospel as well. Because I was saying one day Jah would something. I'm not sure I heard too well, but it also comes across as gospel. Here we are beginning to think that almost everybody in the sector is trying to do something that is inspirational.
That's it.
Why the change all of a sudden?
No, you see, we're in January. I mean, and normally, generally, you don't really start with a hot one. I have a lot of hot songs coming up, but then I thought starting New Year, this is a perfect song, perfect message for the youth and for everybody. That's why I said one day. And fine, you can call it gospel because almost every song we do is gospel, man. So far as you're preaching the good news, I call it gospel.
But if you're talking about the woman's behind and all that, how much
no,
of gospel
okay,
is that?
no, good news. I wasn't like positive message. Yeah, I mean, so with this, whatever category you put it, but then I believe it's an inspirational song, and there was this part I was saying, let's thank Christ for the gift of life. Yeah, I mean, and that's my favorite punchline in the song is failure is the fertilizer for success. Yes. So when we fail, like I said, I failed in 2018, but I think it's not the end. I have 2019 to make amends and move on.
Do you look at yourself as an active musician still, someone that can penetrate, the industry with the likes of all these young ones we have there, with the kind of songs you're doing and the kind of mentality we have? Oh, any time I trim, that kind of mentality. Do you see yourself being able to penetrate again?
With time I trim the more you see, that's one thing. Yesterday I met one old musician and he was complaining. Apparently he had gone through a lot of emotional stress. He had to go to the US and last night. I don't want to mention names. I mean, we're very quick in killing, I mean, the 90s, of course, that's where we came out and all that. We are all relevant. I mean, we're all playing our roles. I mean, it doesn't matter, there will always be new artists. There will always. And, I'm always happy for the new artists. Because once upon a time, I was a new artist, and as we keep growing, we keep learning. But then there's one thing I need to tell you guys, man. If you don't see Sidney performing in Ghana, then probably I'm somewhere else. I travel a lot. I do a lot of shows in Liberia, South Africa. So if you don't see me in Ghana, don't think Sidney cried with him. Come to maybe Liberia, come to Chad, Mali. You see Barimah Sidney performing.
All the way in Chad?
Oh, yeah, been Chad, yes. The last show we did was in South Africa. The South Africa show was awesome. I mean, apparently it's called Ghana Fest. The other artists, a couple of artists been there, but this particular last year was the biggest. I mean, and Ghana came back as Sydney with him. Yeah, I mean, but then it was very big and all that. So
people are doing collaborations with the young ones to keep themselves active. I heard you say that you do some collaborations this year. Are you also targeting these young ones, or you're still going to do with your folks?
They're all my folks. So far, they're musicians. They're all my folks. I mean, it depends on the kind of song you're doing. The kind of songs you invite the young ones, and they might not be able to because it be deep. Yeah, I mean, some of the lyrics, political, they might not. So, and I'm not very good at doing the love songs. It's quite Eugene, Kidim, collaborations. But then I'm learning. I mean, meet my don't one way or the other. Why not? But I've done collaborations with Obrafo. I've done with what's his name, Pope Skinny. I did one with Guru, a lot of them, and very soon I'll be releasing them.
I see. So that's like going back in the day. I can't wait for you and Obrafo's song. That would be very nostalgic for us who listened to you back in 90s and 2000s. Well, we wish you well this year, and we can't wait for that political song. What would be the title?
Well, okay. Should I? Okay.
Just a title. He's not singing it. It's just a title.
I'm not singing, but
just a title.
Yeah, some more. You let's just keep no, and your shame. I mean, the title self-crediting to me.
You go feature
no, but.
So give us the original title.
Do we have two titles? I mean, no, they should just watch out. It's gonna be like everything that's happened from 7th January.
Is it going to call Ghana?
The title is gonna be One Day.
No, One Day is already out. So what's the title of this one?
I don't have any title yet, but then.
Oh, your manager says, or he says you don't give titles.
No, I don't have any title yet. Very truthful, I don't.
So, okay, so since you don't have title, I'm sure you know some of the issues. So you've talked about MzGee saga. What else are we looking at?
A lot of issues, a lot of things.
Just
happen.
2 more.
2 more. Wow, that's a new thing I mean really do. I know.
Just
I mean,
2 more.
2 more. A lot of things. I mean, from a lot. You see, there's this part that said this is Ghana. So many things happen. I mean, and never be brave. So just watch out. I mean,
from January 7th, 2007.
Thank you.
To 2017, sorry.
Sorry, to 2019. A lot has happened.
It's like state of the affairs.
Bibi Sabi, put it all together. And what can I say? Yo, big up, she just said it.
So I can take it that's the title.
That's it.
State of.
State of the affairs, I mean.
Okay, so you had it right here first. That's the song we're expecting. When is it going to be released?
6th of March.
Whoa. You want to kill us?
Oh, are they?
Independence Day.
Yeah.
Why that
you
date?
understand?
Why that date?
Over Tiasia.
Means that we are not independent yet, even though we are celebrating the day.
Oh, we are very, very much independent. I mean, watch out. 6th of March 2019.